Hornick, and I'm a junior. Well, I have OCD and depression and anxiety, and that's just a couple of things that I deal with, and it affects my life on the daily.
I'm Leah Salvatierre, and I'm a sophomore at Pally. I personally am not diagnosed with any particular mental illness, but my sister has anxiety disorder, and my dad had bipolar depression and OCD.
What it means to me is it's something I hold very closely to my heart. That sounds really cheesy, but
Yeah.
To myself, and something that I take and care for a lot because it's something super important to me and something that everybody needs to care for as much as I do and as much as other people do with mental illnesses.
When I hear mental health, I think of health just like any other part of your body. It's your brain health, right? So it's not like your arm or your leg or your foot. It's health of your brain. So it can get sick, it can need medicine, it can be in a state of distress, but you need to take care of it just like it's any other part of your body.
It's basically when somebody asks, like, per se, this is an example from my personal life. I say I have to leave school early, and somebody asks me, why are you leaving school early? And the real reason I'm leaving school early is to go to my psychiatrist.
Yeah.
But I'm too scared to tell someone for the fear of being judged. So that fear is induced by the stigma. The stigma is kind of this thing that causes people to feel embarrassed and alienated almost by what they have, and the stigma of mental illness is that alienation of being mentally ill.
The stigma is like stereotypes, but on top of like stereotypes, it's like, words and phrases and like preconceived ideas and just like general concepts that people have completely wrong.
There is such a huge need to be perfect in our community. I'm not saying it's just our community. I think that the stigma kind of creates this fear of imperfection almost, or of being seen as imperfect, or again, of being seen as crazy. Most students at Pally kind of face this stigma of mental illness, which also coincides with the stigma of being perfect.
A lot of teenagers don't tell their friends. A lot of adults don't reach out for help because they don't want to be weak. It's a whole other burden. It's the shame and the fear on top of being sick, which is not something anyone should have to feel.
What I've been doing a lot is just talking about it. Right now, it's really difficult for people to just admit that they have a mental illness. Just speaking up about mental health, maybe about your own experiences, or just about it in general. But I think just have a lighter, speak about it in a lighter way.
I think first of all, I think it's really hard with in vocabulary, educating about what's proper and what's improper to use in your vocabulary. So just not using bipolar OCD as an adjective, small stuff like that, and kind of asking your family about it, opening that conversation just will completely normalize the conversation around mental health, and that's what we need.
Let's end the stigma.
Let's end the stigma.
Let's end the stigma. Let's end the stigma.
Let's end the stigma.
Let's end the stigma.